Hi guys, I hope you are doing great. So today I'm going to explain something very special and that is known as CyberArk PAM, and that is a very special and very demanding topic nowadays. And recently CyberArk has been acquired by the Palo Alto, so it's become very popular nowadays because Palo Alto officially acquired that, and all the services, tools and system licenses are just taken care by the Palo Alto only. So being a Palo Alto instructor, I'm pretty much, very interested for this particular special product. So that's why I'm just, discussing about what is the PAM. PAM is stand for the Privileged Access Management, right? So if I talk about the Privileged Access Management, they have the multiple component. And in this component, you can see we have the PVWA, we have the Vault, we have the like other PSM servers available here, and they are going to make a connectivity with the different kind of the servers like database servers, Windows server, Unix servers. We have the router and switches devices as well. We can see we have the VMware, we have the Azure cloud, AWS cloud, and the Mainframe servers as well. So how these all connection are going to be flow from source to destination? Let's suppose I will explain definitely what is a PVWA, what is a PSM, what is a vault. But just for time being, we just I'm not going to go in the very deep on the PSM, vault, and the PVWA. What is that? But just in very high level, just think about PVWA is the very first URL where you have to connect to access any kind of the PAM services. Without it PVWA, you cannot connect with any kind of the services of the PAM. Means being a user, your very first connection, that is the HTTPS connection, is going to be your PVWA. You can see here, this is your very first connection is going to PVWA, and then PVWA is going to be redirect to the all PSM services where you have to make the connectivity. So that request is going to the PSM. PSM is going to make the connectivity with your vault. Vault is like kind of the your bank, which have the all kind of the secrets, credentials and everything. So I will discuss step by step what is the role of the vault, what is the role of the PSM, and what is the role of the PVWA. But in very high level, the connection flow, it's all about the zero trust security, means identity security. Means if someone is going for the any kind of the connections for the any server, just make sure there is no authorized activity is going to be happen for any region. They must have to follow the particular architecture to go step by step to make the connections. So this is like where my personal computer is going to make connection with the PVWA. PVWA is going to redirect to the PSM, and then it is going to be vault, and then it is going to be make sure what is your roles, and based on that role they are going to allow the connection with the desired servers. Might be going to connect with a database, might be connecting to your Windows servers, might be connecting with the Unix servers, routers, switches, VMware, ASXi, and the cloud server mainframe. So these all are going to be happen in this way. So if I step by step I understand the flow. Let's suppose I'm the user, I want to connect with the any kind of a server. So the very first connection, HTTPS, is going to be there. User request to connect the transparently to a target system, and that is going to be PVWA, and then it is going to build the PVWA, redirect this connection to the PSM. This is your PSM, right? And this is going to be privileged session manager, and this is going to be required for the all kind of the connectivity, secure connectivity to the vault. And you can see then your request like RDP over the HTTP, that is going to be your gateway, and the user are connected to the PSM server using the RDP protocols. And then after PSM fetches the account credential report from the vault. So this is the vault is basically just understand this is your account like lockers sitting in the bank. So this is your digital bank for the credentials. Here we have the different accounts, we have the safes, we have the credentials, everything is going to store here. So based on that PSM request, you are going to connect with your vault, and vault is going to basically fetch those credentials. So activities performed in the privileged session are recorded by the PSM and uploaded to the vault. Means even what is going to happen, let's suppose you are going to be this is going last step, but if you're going to be fetch the informations from the vault, based on that information PSM is going to be connect the target system. What is target system? That is your end servers. So this is going to be connected to the end server target system. This can be your RDP, this can be your SSH, that can be your VMware and other kind of the protocols that is going to use to make the connectivity. So PSM connect the target system with fast the credentials using the native protocol chosen by the user. Means users can use the HTML gateway to connect the any target system. They use the they use the SSH connection, like you want to use a putty, secure CRT, that is also possible. You can use the RDP protocols as well. So these are the all methods. Even you can use the SFTP as well to make the connectivity. So these all are possible, but SFTP is a different kind of, means initially connection is going to be RDP, SSH, and other kind of the activity like AWS console. You can use the AS400 like OS 390, and also you can use the SQL connectivity to the SQL server as well. But inside of the Windows server, if you want to take the RDP, not RDP, like file transfer, SFTP, and all, that is also possible. You can do that. And in last, it's very important. Once you're done with all kind of the activity, this is the responsible to maintain. The PSM is request responsible to maintain all your recordings and means all your activities. Means being a user, whatever the activity you are going to do on the target servers, these all are going to be recorded. Real time recording you can watch. Let's suppose I'm the user, I'm doing any changes on the any firewalls, I'm doing a changes on the any routers. So those kind of the activity I can record. Not only I maintain in initial stage when you are doing the TechX level of the integration. So TechX is going to maintain your all accountings, means all your logs record is going to be there. But here it is going to maintain your all record. When you are running the wrong commands, that is going to be recorded. Even you are going to be take some time, the time is also going to be recorded. And then all activity is going to be managed by the privilege session manager, and this is going to be uploaded on the your vault, and anytime if you want to retrieve it is possible. So this is something new, right? And we'll keep doing discussion about this CyberArk. And if I just explain about, right, CyberArk component, you're going to find so if you're going to find cyber components, you can see this. We have the digital vault. Digital vault is basically your core architecture. Means without this digital vault, means you can just think about this is your bank. Bank is going to be have the lockers. Locker inside having jewelry. We have the important documents. And if you want to retrieve those information, you have to take permissions. You have to follow the structured way approach. You have to take approval. You have to match the signs. You have to prove your identity. Then you are going to be get. And also your all activity is going to might be recorded on CCTV camera. The PVWA, you can see here the PVWA that we are talking about. That is the one of the your master tool. That is a password vault web access. Means if you want to access anything from the your server point of view, router point of view, switch point of view, that you have to log in this PVW. This is centralized web. Means this is a UI user interface where user is going to make the web connections by putting their credentials, and after that they can securely log into the any kind of the target servers. CPM is Central Policy Manager. I will discuss about that. CPM is a different, like if you want to create the policy for some region, for any kind of the activity, so you can use the CPM, Central Policy Manager. That is the engine automate credential. Means this is going to be help to automate the credential, rotate the password, right? You can see password rotations, user verification, continuous verifications, how long I want to rotate the password, how long I can allow the password to be, active in the any servers, and also synchronize accounting, define the enterprise policy. So this is just policy, kind of the nervous system brain. If you want to put any intelligence, that is going to be CPM. And this is the privilege session manager. This is what I was talking about that. So this privilege session manager is basically, this is the core component, right? This is going to be responsible for any kind of the connectivity. Any user want to talk to any server. This is the broker, man in the middle. So you're going to be broker, and it is going to isolate your connection from the user point of view. Means if you're going to reach to any kind of the destination, first you have to get here. This will, on behalf of you, they are going to connect with the vault. Vault is going to give the credentials, user details. Then it is going to be reached to the any kind of destination server. So this is how it is going to be happen. That is your kind of the PSM. And then we have the one more component which I'll discuss there, that is a privilege threat intelligence, right? Sorry, not intelligence, a privilege threat analytics, right? That is going to be make sure continuously like any privilege activity is going to be suspicious, like any kind of the it's like a threat kind of the activity. So that is going to be monitor your all anomalies and alert administrator to malicious behavior inside the threat real time. Means any kind of threat activity is going to happen inside of your entire architecture. This is going to monitor, and based on that, they're going to make sure you're going to be protected by using that different real time. They have the advanced threat prevention mechanism. So they're going to use, and they're going to give the products and also give the alerts. So these are the core component of the digital vault, PVWA, and CPM, and we have the PSM and also PTA. So I will keep talking about this all in upcoming multiple session. But for time being, just awareness what is the PAM, and if you just learn about what is the CyberArk PAM, If you're not about sure about this, so you can just learn about it. So you can see CyberArk PAM is the privileged access management. Privileged access management means any credentials, any username, password you are going to be just use to connect any server. So how you are going to manage those? So that is never going to be compromised. So this is going to be one of the enterprise level of security solutions that is designed to protect organization most critical IT assets. Means let's suppose I am the user and somebody given the credential to me. I'm going to store those credentials in my Excel file, right? For any servers, I'm going to store that might be my phones. It's not possible every time I can remember those credentials. So sometime if hacker is going to be get those credentials, so they are going to be log into systems and then they are going to launch the target server from my office PC. So nowadays, if you talk about 80% attacks, if you just go and read the history, 80% attacks are happening due to this privilege kind of the create a problem. So you have to protect your all privilege accounts, and this is going to be CyberArk going to give that particular secure digital vault to hide automatic rotate administrator password. Means whatever the password you have, they're going to be automatically rotate after some time. You can just set the rotation policy 15 days, 30 days, 90 days, even more than that. Even you want to rotate for 1 day, some 60 minutes also means if you want to create for the 60 minute or 90 minutes, that is also possible. You can do that, and they are going to use a different kind of the again component that is going to be help to protect your systems. So this is just overview, guys. I will keep talking about it and we'll discuss about it in more in the upcoming lecture. So thank you so much, and we'll see you again in the upcoming lecture. Bye bye, take care.